This video was taken from our Live at 5 show over on Patreon. If you would like to come and join us on Patreon for all the exclusive videos and live shows every day, the link is in the description. Haynes is alright, lads. Just want to try and get the numbers for next season in GTA to help improve the atmosphere. Originals. If anyone is interested, please let us know on Twitter at Originals1878. We work close to the club and other fan groups on initiatives aimed at generating a better atmosphere at Goodison and would love people to get involved with this. We are looking to grow our numbers for next season. Our goal is to be an established group by the time we move to Bramley Moor Dock. If you are interested in joining the Originals 1878 or moving to Section GT8, please enter your details in the form below. That is if you're on Patreon, look at Kane's thing, or go onto Twitter. What are you saying?
Found him.
Who?
Originals.
You didn't need to wave. I thought something was going off.
That's okay. That Matty's just doing it. That's sound. Listen, this is really important. Kane's heavily involved and has got involved to try and get a bit more direction going with this group. We want the atmosphere at Goodison Park to improve as much as it can. When Goodison's bouncing, it makes a massive difference to the players, us as fans. And the end goal to this is being on the south stand at Bramley Moor Dock, in a, behind the goal and that bouncing. It's going to be a steep stand at Bramley Moor Dock. We want it noisy. We've luckily been to Germany and experienced the yellow wall, and it was incredible to be part of that for that day. But imagine that being an Everton-based thing, So if you're interested in getting in GT8, if you're interested in being in the Originals, singing, you want to, be part of that, then make sure you get in touch with them. And it's massively important.
Also, I've seen some negativity to this on Twitter before, about some people saying, why do these lads have a right to get the best spaces?
Hello, yeah.
Well, the point is that they're going to try and build up within the 3 years so that we look at them as fans, as a part of the match day atmosphere, something you'd want to join in with. This is what makes me laugh about people, is people will always want to knock other people down for doing stuff that they won't do themselves. Like, if I had it my way, I'd have these lads right now in GT3 of the Gwladys Street, and I'd say to all the people who are in there now, you're either with them or we're gonna have to move you for next season. I really would. But that's not going to happen, is it? But for a new ground, Everton can do that from the start and go, this section here is protected for these people. Now, there's nothing wrong with, this is not an exclusive band of people. This could be you, this could be me, this could be Baz, this could be Paul, it could be any of us.
Couldn't be Matty.
Couldn't be Matty. No, I mean, come on.
No.
Couldn't be Matty.
He's going to turn up with his guitar, giving it the...
He's in the fan zone. I'm in the fan zone.
He's going to be busking in the fan zone.
So, let's just, rather than this thing dying away, like I feel like it has a little bit this season, but that's not the lad's fault. It really isn't. Let's get behind it, because in the next few years, I think it's going to be really important for fan activity, and we're gonna get safe standing back soon. We're gonna get rail seating back soon. It's only going one way now.
Yeah. Once United get it past, which they will, that's it.
It's only going one way, so we're gonna get it. And what you're saying then is, we want a section which is bouncing every week. We put the responsibility. I ain't going on about this, but when we went to Germany, what we seen was large parts of the grounds that were quiet. But as long as that section is bouncing, it makes the atmosphere seem 10 times better. So, and it's like at Goodison now, if it's not like any other part of the ground is going to get the atmosphere going if it's not the Gwladys. The park end aren't going to all start jumping up and singing. It's the Gwladys that have to get it going. And sometimes there has to be something that gets the Gwladys going. And you've got to think about it like that. So it's fine people going, oh, this is terrible. Oh, we've been going for years. We deserve the best seats. That's not the point. Create the atmosphere by being behind the goal. When we went on the yellow wall, there was a little section behind the goal that we could have gone in, and the guy was like, you can go in there if you want. He said, but that's like the proper hardcore people, the people who make the decisions. And we were like, we just went, no, we're not going to go in there, because number one, we don't really have a right to go in there.
No.
And number two, we want to sort of watch the game as well. Whereas that bit was all about just creating atmosphere. Half of them didn't even watch the game. It was all about being there and doing the singing and all, and getting it going.
Well, whenever there was a lull, that area created the rest of the atmosphere. And it's like Goodison when the Gwladys Street starts, it reverberates around the stadium. I mean, I heard the Park End actually singing at the away fans the other day for the first, it's the first time this season that they've actually stood up and were giving it. I know it was Manchester is full and all that, but you know, especially when we scored. But to have a group that, and listen, like Peds just said then, it's not like we're handpicking 30 lads and going, they're the ones who are the most. You can be part of this. These people who are negative on Twitter, they can be part of it. If you know, go and be in an area where the singing is, if that's what you want, join in, and you're in that section. But how amazing would it be to have a section in that south stand, whether it be right behind the goal or to the right or the left, but close to the middle so that it can get everything going. How amazing would it be
Paul,
to see that area bouncing up and down?
You're in the Gwladys Street, aren't you?
Yeah.
And it can be a bit
GT4.
It can be a bit quiet at times, can't it?
Yeah, for certain games, GT4 will just stay standing like we did against United. But some games, everyone's just I've counted where I don't get out my chair for 20 minutes at a time. The atmosphere, as you said, around the ground seems to mirror what's going on in the Gwladys Street.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think what happens is sometimes a lot of people at the Gwladys Street have been there for so many years, they're just caught in a routine sort of thing where they're not going to get up and cheer until something happens. And it's the chicken and the egg, isn't it? Like, do the team have to get the fans up? Do the fans have to get the team up? Type thing. But with the Gwladys Street, I really want this originals thing to take off because Goodison's not going to be around much longer. Give her the best farewell we can possibly give her. You can probably count now the amount of games we've got left.
Yeah.
Goodison, what is it, just over 3 seasons?
Hopefully. I mean,
yeah,
it's not fully nailed on yet because obviously we've got to wait till to get the planning permission. We know that, and that's not me being like, that's what I mean by that. If there's anything that sets it back slightly, it could be slightly longer. But you're right. It's about embracing Goodison Park, and it's about being part of. It's about being the end. This is the end part now, the end journey. And surely what we want is it to be loud and to be spectacular as often as it can, whether it be these lads or what's it called, the 1938 Gwladys Street boys with the big tifo kind of things that we've seen at the weekend with the Dixie Dean one. I'd like to see a few like almost like that where Sunday was like a celebration of Dixie Dean, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it never really went quite far enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's going to be a celebration, make it a celebration. Put that on the fans. Put that on the originals. Put that on the guys making the flags. Make sure it goes all the way. Why couldn't the whole of the Park End have had a mosaic of Dixie Dean on? Do you know what I mean? Let's make.
He's someone who the club should celebrate.
Oh yeah, like nobody else.
You know, can I just ask Paul? Paul, with obviously, you know, you're already in the Gwladys Street as it is. When we done a video before, Paul made a brilliant point about, you know, your memories of Goodison as it comes to the end, thinking of it, you know, slightly different when we move, how you look back and think of Goodison. But is the originals idea something that appeals to you as a young lad, you know, into, you know, you're only mid-20s, very passionate about Everton? Is that idea of being in a section with all them lads bouncing up and down, singing songs, is that something that appeals to you, or are you a bit like, I don't mind it and I'll join in now and again, or what's your view on what they're trying to do?
I'd love that. I mean, I wouldn't want to consider myself like an ultra.
No.
I've got over there, but
that's just a word, isn't it?
Yeah, really. It's a word to tar people, but I really like the idea of being in a certain area where there's going to be noise every single time.
Yeah.
And I want us to get behind the team because it's not nice to think about, but we've probably got, touch wood, everything goes the way we want it to. We've probably got less than 100 games left at Goodison. You could, if we have, not even, maybe 50.
Haven't even got that.
19 guaranteed a season.
Yeah, so
with
57 and about 65 games or something.
Yeah, so anything we can do to just make Goodison feel special and loud and a place where everyone enjoys themselves, even if the team are not winning. We've got to do it.
And would you be looking, when we move to Bramley-Moore, Doc, if there was a designated like rail seating standing area, which again would be like behind the goal at the, you know, on the south stand, would that be somewhere where you'd be interested in being? Or do you think you'll be an old man by then at 29 and you'll want to sit somewhere else.
Yeah, that's going to depend on everyone's situation, isn't it? Some
Yeah.
people might have kids and might not want to do that. They want to take somewhere with
But
the
you
field.
personally, I mean,
Me
looking ahead, is
personally,
that what do you think?
yeah, I would want to be involved
Right in the
with
middle.
that. I'd want to be where the noise is, where the action is, type thing.
See, this is where I think, and we spoke to the couple of people at the club about this. I would love, say Standon was given the nod this season. I would love them to just rip a section of the Gwladys seats out and go, there you go. There you go. But he won't, because they're like, oh, it's a waste of money. It's like, well, okay. It doesn't seem to be a waste of money when you're doing the lounges, but when it's for fans who want a better experience. Because I honestly think if you were to say let's say the last 3 seasons of Goodison, let's say 3 seasons or 2 seasons or whatever, and they said, we're going to have the singing section, but we're putting it and say Standon. I honestly believe they need to do that and not go, oh, well, it's pointless because we're leaving Goodison. Let's, like these lads have already said, let's create the atmosphere now and take that with us so people understand what we're moving into.
Yeah.
So that you can say, so when you go and get your ticket at Bramley Moor and you go, do I want to move from my seat or do I want to, do I want a normal seat, in a normal section, or do I want to go into rail seating? You'd already know because you'd have experience and go, you know what, I fancy a bit of that. Because I think that's one of the problems about these lads at the moment is they're stuck in a corner. No one really sees or hear what they do. So it's like they've completely forgotten about. But imagine they were right in the middle of GT3 on rail seats and people were like, that looks amazing.
Yeah,
that looks. Or even if you got GT8 and you just went, we're ripping out all the seats in GT8 and it's going to be rail seating all the way from the start to the back. And then everyone goes, well, that's our singing section because you can see it and they get to the atmosphere going because the lads are always standing up. And then you go, I fancy that. Whereas I think the problem they got now, they're saying we want people to join. People are going, join what exactly? Because there's no presence, is there? That's the problem. That's not their fault. There's just no presence.
What they're trying to do now, and I've been, speaking to a couple of the lads last night, and it's almost like they've pressed the reset button last night, starting again. So they're going to start doing it a little bit more professionally, which I think is important. They're going to get people trying to find out who's interested in moving into GT8 with them because they want that to be people who want to go there while they try to, get a group together which will grow and then hopefully it will turn into the stuff you're talking about. So they are going to try to make it a more of a thing now of I'd like to stand in there because I want to sing and stand at the match and make noise and everything else. And I think if they do that and people start recognising that, I think it will grow because there's nothing better than when you're in the middle of all that and it's bouncing and it's for your club and you start getting to know people who are there. It's a different thing then altogether and then I think that does set off the rest of the stadium. Then you're not going to sing for 90 odd minutes because in Dortmund, it was slightly different, Germans are slightly different, but there will be peaks and troughs in it. But if you know in general that that's where it is, you're going to make the noise. I think that's something to be part of that. I think is to be part of Everton's history and future. I think it'd be incredible to create that stand at Bramley Moor Dock and go, look how far we've come, look where we are, and look at this, and people are like, that's amazing.
Yeah, we've got to figure out what works now because we can't make the same mistake West Ham have made, whereas they've come to the end at their old stadium and the mindset they must have had was, we'll just figure it out when we get there. It'll all work itself out, and look at it, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. So many people have been caught out, so many people have got conflicting feelings on it, so many people are in places where they don't want to be in the stadium and they're thinking, if I'd have known this is what it was going to be like, I wouldn't have got a season ticket here. Yeah. So we've got to figure out now what Bramley Moor is going to be like, who's going to go where we're going to put what, and basically let people make their minds up of when Goodison comes to an end. Right, if I'm going to get a ticket at Bramley Moor, what do I want out of Bramley Moor? And I go, do I want to be over here where I know the singing's going to be? Yeah. Do I want to be over here where I feel like a bit more comfortable? I can take me little kids with me, or we've got to learn lessons.
I mean, don't forget the one. Sorry,
go on.
The one thing that'll probably happen in Bramley Moor is there'll be rail seating at the front of that south stand. Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's not going to go. They're not going to give. They're not going to put a rail seating like of 8,000-9,000. It's not going to happen. It'll just be the lower section. So even if you have got a child and that's where you want to sit, you can sit behind that section. Not going to be in your way because of the way the stand is. It's going to be like that. You're going to see everything, but you're going to be close then to them well, they're bouncing, and then that's going to feed right back up that stand. So you might want to necessarily stand right at the front with those lads, but you can still be in that whole section, benefiting from them starting the singing, and then that gets it going. But if you do, what a place to be.
And that's my point is that I would love to see Everton bring it in for whether it was 1 season or 2 seasons, no matter, depending on what is allowed, so that people can understand that. That's what I'm saying.
What it is, yeah.
I don't think anyone quite understands what this group is, because there is no group for a lot of people. A lot of people won't even know anything about these people, these lads. So if you don't know about something, then you don't know you want to join. But if I was to visually see a section at Goodison from next season onwards, which was rail seating and there was a load of lads in it, I'd be like, I want to go and join that. And if Everton said, well, while we're at Goodison, this is a controlled experience, so we know who all these lads are. So we can, if there's any issues, we know. I mean, they do anyway because of season tickets. But the point being is, if these are working hand in hand and the lads are saying, because that was the thing about in Germany as well, it's all self-policed. People don't want dickheads in these sections because it ruins it for them. Because if anything goes off, so they said when we were there, they had these SLOs, supporter liaison officers, who went over if there was any issues or dealt with any issues to take back to the club, and so they the ultras never felt like they were being like talked down to. They felt like they were talking to someone on their level, and it really helped. So when there was like ticket issues and all that kind of thing, they dealt with that amongst themselves. Like in Germany, they'll get a book of like tickets and hand them out to the ones who deserve it. Like they won't have like a point system. They'll go, you've been to that, and they'll go to the one at the back. I know you're an ultra, mate, but we've only got 3,000, and these 30,000 are the most three deserving. You're not. Like, they do it themselves. It's a fair system. I'm not.
They do policing. They also don't allow police in the stadium.
Yeah.
Because it causes murder. Yeah. So they sort it themselves. The police are outside, obviously, if it goes off.
Yeah.
But they sort it. So it's self-policed. So if you're in there and you're being a dickhead or whatever, you get done by your own mate.
You've got to get them on TV, somewhere where they're visible to people who are watching on the telly. Because if they're just stuck off in the corner like they are, as you said, there's a load of Evertonians who don't even know who they are. Because they've not seen them.
Well, it's about building that.
It's
about building.
Sunday, you'll have seen the Dixie Dean thing, and you might think, well, who's done that? And you might think, well, they've done that. Well, they didn't. Someone else done that. And that's there needs to be more highlighting of what's happening, who's doing more things, and how you can get involved. So anyway, if you want to get involved, get on Twitter. It is @originals1878.